On Earth, there comes a moment when governments resort to extreme measures and release poisonous substances into the world. To reduce the population, money's the only god you have left. Take him to the Snake Eye. Sweet people were leading their normal lives when one day planes appeared in the sky, dispersing a black substance that caused death to anyone exposed to it. Those whose bodies proved resistant to the poison were left to cling to the remnants of the past or adapt to the new reality. The government was absent, and taking advantage of this, gangs proliferated in the American Midwest, dividing territories and eliminating denters. One of these groups wore animal heads and called themselves players, alongside others known as the Plowers, Cherries, Killers, and many more. One day, Mark West, in the hope of saving their crumbling marriage, agrees to take his wife to her parents' house in Milwaukee. His friend tries to convince him to take a more suitable car, but Mark loves his car too much and doesn't want to abandon it. Almost immediately, the car breaks down. Mark and Nina find an abandoned auto repair shop, and while Mark is fixing the breakdown, Nina looks at old photographs and listens to the radio. At that moment, the doors open and several armed men enter. The couple is saved by the fact that they are in a separate room. Mark asks his wife to step on the gas. The car crashes through the wall and out of the room, just as another gang bursts through the open doors, crushing the initial arrivals. Mark's car starts just in the nick of time, and they barely manage to escape their pursuers. The radio host reminds them of the need to find shelter for the night since gangs are roaming everywhere. So Mark turns towards what appears to be an abandoned house. The couple explores the house, and while Na gathers anything that might be useful, Mark discovers mutilated bodies in the bedroom, while Na tries to contact her mother. Mark carries the bodies outside and sets them on fire. They spend the night in a guest bedroom. Mark plots a path, choosing routes that are free from the executioner's gang, while Na recalls how her husband had tried to ask her father for a magnificent collector's pistol, and hopes that if they make it out unscathed, her father will still give it to Mark. Na extinguishes a candle, unaware that they are being watched by a man who is captured by the executioner's gang. Next morning, and under torture, reveals information about the traveling couple after disposing of the informant. The gang heads to the house where Na and Mark are resting. Mark goes through his morning routine when he hears the sound of a motorcycle engine. He hides his wife in the attic and conceals himself in the house. One of the gang members goes upstairs while Na puts on headphones and plays music to drown out the footsteps of the killer. The faint noise alarms him, and the man turns his back to the door to the room which cost him his life as he is killed. With a single precise blow to the head, his partner spots Mark and attacks him. A fight ensues, during which Mark manages to strike the bandit in the eye with a makeshift weapon, leaving him lying on the living room floor. Having escaped the danger, the couple continues on, unaware of any surveillance. Soon Mark and Nina stop at a looted supermarket. People are attempting to replenish their supplies when a masked man appears in front of them and orders Mark to drop his gun. Suddenly he removes his mask and extends his hand. Mark doesn't trust his friendliness, but the man lifts and hands back Mark's gun. Mark then shakes his hand. Nate Wood is glad to meet normal people, but at that moment the sound of engines can be heard, and the new acquaintance instructs the couple to hide. A group of bandits enters the store, and it turns out they are also looking for the couple, unfazed by the situation. Nate invites the couple to dinner, showing them a photo of his wife, Teresa. Suddenly there is a burst of machine gun fire and the bandits fall, while Nate's son Steve emerges from hiding upon stepping outside. Nate insists that the couple join him. The roadhead is long, and they haven't seen normal people in a while, so they would be happy to treat